welcome to Two Jack Bros. I don't remember which episode this is, but you're on it. This is the episode this is.
In the moment.
In the moment. I'm in the moment. I feel in the moment right now.
Feel in the moment?
Feel good. I feel like yesterday I reached peak frustration about all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I it's kind of hard sometimes, especially in the life that I live. I'm not bragging, but
Humble brag.
this is a humble brag.
But I'm so enlightened that things don't really faze me, and I never worry about what other people think of me, and I just go through life in the moment.
That's almost what it is, but it's almost as if I'm not in the moment because my life is so blessed. Right? Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag
My life is
blessed.
just hashtag blessed. I can't help
And your
that.
hashtag
This
woke.
is black guy magic.
Are these your privileges?
Yeah, these are my privileges. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, you are so full Karen right now.
I am. So here's the thing. You know, everything is pretty good. Like I have a good family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get to wake up with what I consider to be, you know, the woman of my dreams, right? I didn't predict that waking up next to the woman of my dreams at this stage of my life would also include 2 4-year-olds with pissy pull-ups. Also, like at head level, like pull-ups at head level for some reason.
No, when they come running in like wafting
Yeah.
piss at you, you're like, oh, you're so cute and you stink.
I know. It's like, why do you have to sleep at a right angle? and
Yeah.
why does the vertex have to be at my face?
Yeah, they always give me head.
Yeah, well, that's a weird thing to
I
say.
know. But
It's not what she meant to say.
they always put their little faces next to my little face.
Because the butts are by me.
I know. You get butts all the time.
It's insane. Like, why are they spearing your face? Who sleeps like that? Who cuddles like that? Could you imagine if like adult couples were cuddling like that?
You take up so much room.
So much.
Yeah.
Like you like beds aren't even made that way. Yeah, but you know, so I have
Yeah.
a relatively good life, so it's hard to
Wait, with the things in your life that are good was it just your family and you wake up next to the woman of your dreams?
Well, you're part of my family.
Right.
You know, but I'm parsing out the different because it's just a family.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better than family?
Right.
You know, how can we not talk about family?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
This
When
is fast. We're fast and furious over here. We're just fast. So it's all that. You know, it's because everything is always so fun and we're always having, you know, it's even when things aren't necessarily perfect, right? They're still amazing. So right. I don't even know what not perfect is for our family. I just know that, yeah, so I'm not white knuckling through this.
Right.
You know, I'm brown knuckling through this family, through this existence.
Yeah.
I'm just brown knuckling. And it's, so I never really have time to think about how bad things are or how bad things are never really come to the surface to show me them.
Yeah.
You know, so unless something occurs where I see myself not reining in my emotions, then I don't know. It's hard for me to be like, yeah, I'm kind of frustrated right now.
Yeah.
Because it's just always great for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, so yesterday getting into that confrontation with that guy at the creek.
Yes.
I mean, it just made me realize how frustrated I was at everything.
Yeah.
You know, like not being able to feel like I matter right now.
Yeah.
Like not being able to produce like what I have been basically training to produce or training to do for, you know, a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, like almost over 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of tough to suddenly be like, hey, you know, everything that was boosting your confidence about your ability to produce and your ability to stick with it no matter what and keep coming back and showing your resilience, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I keep thinking about this, and I'm thinking about how, I have a thought about, oh, this should be really interesting for people because you can't really define yourself by your job anymore, right? Because now it's just kind of people at home with families. But it didn't end up being that at all, because the people that I think would have, the people that in my mind that I wanted to see go through that and have the impact were the people that more or less put on a suit every morning and go to the job and say, like, this is my work person and this is where I get my value and stuff. And somehow through all this, they seem to continue working.
How are they essential?
I don't know, but like some of them might be working from home,
Yeah.
but like they're still doing their job, and some of them are still very overwhelmed with their job, But the people that stopped doing all that were the people that their job and their passion were like intersected.
Yeah.
And their creativity, and people that, have their own businesses and all those things where they're who they are and their job and their family and their livelihood is all mushed into one. So you're not going to get to, those people are never separated. Those people can't be defined from, like, those people aren't the people that I want to see go through life and say, oh, I'm not a lawyer anymore. Who am I? Am I a good person or not? Those are the people that have already been like, dude, if I'm not a good person, this dream isn't going to come true. Like this dream and me, and it's all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's tough. Like, and I'm not saying like, what am I even being a good person for? Like, that's not it. But it's like, I've built up all of this, like this goodwill towards a certain career path.
Right.
And which happened to revolve around getting on stage and bringing levity to the lives of others. And I'm not even saying that I even came at comedy for that noble pursuit.
Right.
But as it developed, as I got better at comedy, and as comedy became more important to my life, like that is super important to me. Knowing that there are people that come to see my show and can forget about whatever they need to forget about in that time, it started to matter to me.
Yeah.
And it was really starting to matter more and more right before this all got cut off. And it's kind of, it is frustrating. I mean, I'm saying that it's frustrating, but even as I say it, I'm not like, oh my God, like I'm, like my life isn't ruined.
Ruined.
It's not ruined.
No.
But it's definitely halted.
Yeah.
And I feel that. I'm starting to feel that. And just so, getting in that confrontation with that guy at the creek. So we were at a creek. We went there to hang out, like let loose, throw rocks. That's what our family does. We go places and throw rocks. That's what we do. I don't know if that's because we're an interracial family or not, but I know that our biggest pastime.
That's where Sidney and I overlap. We both throw rocks.
Yeah,
like we come from very different, very
like
different places.
Coming from like, I wouldn't say hillbillies. Like,
Yeah.
Not white trash. Coming from white hillbillies and N-words.
But all throw rocks.
Where that intersects is it's rock throwing, twerking,
martial arts training,
oh my God, yes.
climbing trees, jumping.
Yeah, we definitely intersect our relationship at the worst of us. I'm telling you, I feel like that's what interracial relationships are, the opposite of Blade. We get none of their strengths and all of their weaknesses. we just bring all of our cultural weaknesses together and then make children.
Pass it on.
So, we're out there, we're throwing rocks. I can't even say that we're skipping rocks. We're literally throwing rocks at a tree across the creek.
It was fun.
It was the best time I've had in a long time. Just out there.
Had a goal. We were working hard, trying to get our goal achieved.
We were trying to hit something, which is where our paths cross, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like throwing rocks at things is definitely our trash Venn diagram.
Yeah.
And so we're out there, we're throwing rocks at this tree stump across the creek, calling it a creek because of how hillbilly and N-wordish we were.
Yeah.
So it was this guy and his son come over and set up their fishing stuff. We were already there for like 40, 45 minutes.
Across the creek from us.
Across the creek. And they see us over there throwing rocks.
Still come over. Still decide this is the spot for them.
Had to be, right? Yeah. And they get it all together. And when they're ready to start casting their reels, the guy turns to us and he's not even polite about it. I mean, you want something from us. You want us to stop throwing rocks.
Is this how you approach people that are throwing rocks?
We're throwing rocks.
We obviously could have thrown a rock at them.
What the fuck do we look like, man? Did we look like rational people across the creek over there throwing rocks? Our son's covered in dirt, you know? And it's like, if you see us and you see how, like, my son, he has white skin for a black kid, for a mixed kid. He has white skin. Like, how did you not think that I was a stepdad over there getting some angst out throwing rocks?
Because we're throwing them across the creek.
Yeah.
Like
hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Big rocks.
And our kids are just digging up rocks for us to throw.
And so he said, can you go throw rocks? How did he say it?
How about you guys go throw rocks somewhere else?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
How about you guys go throw rocks somewhere else? Sidney said, no.
And that should have been it. I mean, that should have been, and again, it wasn't like we were going to stay there forever. And if he would have approached it a little nicer, I would have said, we're not going to be here much longer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been like, oh, yeah, we'll stop. Like, because we didn't hit the thing yet.
Yeah, we have a goal here.
It was a very small target that we were trying to hit. And it was going to take at least 30 more throws
We were getting really close, though.
Closer and closer with every throw. We never give up.
Yeah.
That's another thing about us and our little Venn diagram. We never give up on the wrong things. So I said no, and that turned into a confrontation.
Yeah.
Where he started, oh, you're being a really good example to your kids. Oh, you're being a tough guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, do you want me to show you how tough of a guy I actually am?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
He was counting on black people can't swim. He was like, he's not coming across this creek. Because as soon as you were like, how do I get over there? He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's like, oh, dear God, do they know about bridges? Like, he thought I was going to look at this water and be like, curses.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And the funny part about that is, I'm like, how do I get over it? I'm like saying that loud for him to hear me saying that. And then my son comes over to me and whispers like, Dad, there's a bridge over there. I can show you where it is.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, stop being in the middle of the Venn diagram right now. Okay. Goodness gracious. Can you like at least present like you're the best of us? And it ended up becoming like a yelling match kind of across this creek, and I was able to show him how wrong he was being with his efforts, and I'm literally, because he started insulting my character, I instantly looked at him as the people on both sides of this argument of shut down or keep inside or let's open up.
Yeah.
I just saw him as
because everybody's just name calling each other right now. Nobody's trying to have any understanding. Nobody's trying to talk about anything. Nobody's trying to figure anything out. Everybody's just like, either stay in your house or let's all go mob one place in the city. Like, no, there's like 100 different things in between there.
And I kind of wish I would have mentioned how he was acting like these people that are attacking each other's characters over this shit that we're in right now, which is what I ended up saying. Yeah. But it was way after, like, I kept yelling at him after he stopped to let him know, like, no, once you start the fire, you don't get to decide when to put it out.
Not with this guy.
Fire is uncontrollable, dude. That's why you don't go around setting fires randomly.
Yeah.
Because once you set that fire, it takes on a life of its own. Now this is the life of its own.
Yeah.
This is what you opened up. So, and when I said that to him, the way he said, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
Like, it touched my heart. Like, that felt like a very genuine moment he had when he said that.
Yeah.
And
because I don't think any of us want to be that.
No.
I mean, there's some assholes out there that want to be that.
Yeah.
But like the majority of us do not want to be that.
And there's also the people out there that are the type of people that want to be able to attack somebody's character in a confrontation or in a situation where you're disagreeing, and then when it's called out, they act like, well, I wasn't attacking your character.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even doing that.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated. He acknowledged that he did do that.
It took him a little bit.
But it's until I said it. Until I said that specific thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like he acknowledged it right away when I said that specific thing.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't want to take anything from him, because like we were both out there being childish.
Yes.
Like the two of us.
Yeah.
I might have been being more childish, after
being a louder child.
definitely being the louder child, but I was the blacker child.
Yeah.
Like I had to be. Like I was definitely, I don't know his life, but I'm pretty sure he was raised by two parents.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I was out there like being raised by a single mom. It just is what it is.
You're the louder child.
I'm very passionate. But it was when I apologized to him, when I told him like I'm really sorry that because he escalated it first.
Yeah.
And once he established like I did escalate that,
Yeah.
then I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't even be at this point with him. Like he should have been able to realize that he escalated that without me meeting that escalation.
Yeah.
And
At some point, you both just look like two assholes yelling across a creek.
I mean, according to people that weren't yelling, yeah, maybe. But he and I, we probably if you would have asked him and me what we looked like, we would have been two passionate men surrounded by cowards. That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we both agree on that.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, but it was just having to. That was the weirdest apology. I'm always comfortable apologizing.
Yeah.
But it was just a funny apology to have to say, I'm really sorry that I went at you like that. Like because of the way you came at me originally, I kind of lumped you in with all of the people that I don't like about this situation that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I get it. I'm sorry too. We're all wound a little tight.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that was my peak. It was like that, my fresh, it all came out.
Yeah.
It all got resolved. And there was closure in one moment. And I don't even know who that guy is. I should have been like, check out Two Jack Bros podcast. I'm sorry. It's really good. You'll enjoy it. But I hope that he was able to not take whatever.
How do you think they went home and told their mom, the wife mom of that unit?
Dude, who knows? But my guess is, again, by the way he kind of owned up to what he did, his part in that, and how genuinely you could feel it that he was also kind of at peak frustration with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They probably went home and told it accurately.
Mm-hmm.
They probably we went out there, we were trying to fish. This black guy was throwing rocks across the creek. I said something, don't worry, they can't swim. And it was just I knew it, like the way I'm like, don't worry, I had it under control. He's like, I had it under control. It was more than waist deep. There's no way. He wasn't wading in that water. There's no way. He doesn't know how to float.
No. They sink.
Yeah, but no, I'm just, yeah, definitely. I was at peak frustration, and it's just like, it's almost a curse. Like my family is like things are too. I mean, I think like even this, like we get to come and murder shed and do this with each other. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Like how am I supposed to even understand when things suck outside of this? Mm-hmm. Like we don't complain. We just figure out a way to fix something.
Yeah, it is weird whenever I leave here and people are like, oh, how are you holding up? Like, oh, it must be, I feel sorry for you. Like people are very much like, oh, you've got young kids at home. Oh, man, that must be crazy. Like this is hard. And sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, so hard. Hard.
For you.
But
sounds like it's hard for you.
It's like, no, it's kind of blissful. Like we go to the park and like nobody's there for some reason. I don't know why. It's always our park. And we roll around on the grass. And
I went to go pick up our food today and I hadn't seen one of the workers in a while, because we haven't been going as frequently as we used to since the pandemic. But I saw her today and she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you guys in a while. How's your pandemic going?
My pandemic.
Yeah. And it was just like, I don't think you're ready for the answer that I have.
Yeah.
I think you want a different answer right now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, huh.
Yeah.
She was like, doing the best you can. I was like, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
I am excited though that it seems like we're making some headway with some of this stuff. But here's something interesting to me, right? Because we're trying to get these vaccines kind of fast tracked right now, right? So we almost have to go back to what you were saying before, like human experimentation.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
human experimentation is mine.
Well, it is kind of yours, although you keep trying to outsource it to China.
Yeah,
Right?
everybody wants China to do the dirty work.
Yeah,
Come on.
but do you trust China doing that
No.
dirty work right now? No, right? So it's like, who do we get to experiment on?
I think it's either got to be NASA or what's Space Force,
Yeah.
or deep in some dark room in the military
Well, so, no, you're talking about the people doing the experimentation.
in the U.S. If
What I'm
somebody in the
saying,
U.S. Oh,
who are going to be the subjects?
oh,
Right? Because they can't be like before when it was China doing the experimentation. It was like, oh yeah, they'll just experiment on Chinese people.
yeah.
But now we have to do the human experimentation in house
Yeah.
because that's the only way we can trust the results and the data that we're getting from it.
Yeah.
So who do
Don't
we?
we let people sign up for it. We say we'll pay you $10, or like, isn't that how we do it in the U.S.? We say we'll pay you something and you come get experimented on. That's how it works.
I mean, that's how capitalism works. I hope that's what would happen.
I think that's how it works.
I just feel like the best experiments happen when you experiment on people against their will.
The best experiments because you get the best outcome, or because it's just so tense and like a movie?
Because it fits the scientific method better. Right? Because they shouldn't know they're in an experiment.
Yeah.
That kind of messes with the experiment.
I mean, this is going to be very controversial, and I might take this back. But
because what I just said is like on the level. Yeah, okay.
But instead of like releasing these rapists from jail, can we do it on them? I mean, they're all sick in jail anyways, right?
I mean, listen, your mouth to God's ears. I mean, that's what I was thinking the whole entire time. I didn't want to say it.
Right?
But can we please at least like maybe on the when they're processing out of prison,
Just stab them with a needle.
just they wouldn't even notice it. You know how
Yeah.
many times they get shanked in prison? Like, you prick them with a little needle and they'd be like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you murdered somebody in this lifetime, or you raped somebody at this lifetime, the least you can do to like pay back your debt to society is help with this vaccine.
It would be kind of weird though to have these people, because we do have a hard time not acknowledging the efforts of people in situations, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say these people do help us come up with a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a vaccine for something that was causing a worldwide pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
How will we not hoist them on our shoulders as heroes?
Yeah, we love everybody's a hero.
Everybody's a hero in America.
Now these people are heroes.
They'll
Well,
have to be
we
heroes.
maybe it solves more than one problem, right? We keep looking at prisons and being like, I don't think anybody except people that make prisons and that whoever's making money off of them thinks that like this prison business model plan is a
Prison
good thing.
industrial complex.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Is a good thing, right? Like we don't want all these people locked up. We don't want to spend tax dollars on this. Like we want to rehabilitate these people. So this is an opportunity. So maybe it's not the murderers and the rapists that we do. Maybe we do it to the white collar crime people. Like maybe we do it to the people that forge checks. Like this is your redemption. You do this, you come out of jail, we'll wipe your slate clean. Like you can restart your life. This will be like your debt to society. You can feel good about it, and we forgive you. We might call you a hero. Like your self-esteem's back. They can go back out there and make a life.
Every time I think about human experimentation now, I think about it in terms of the story that was written inspired by an episode of Two Jack Bros, right? So like I see that place. Like that's the place I see.
Yeah.
So like which again, like shout out to Doc Vargas or Varga. How do we say his last name?
I don't know.
All right, shout out to Doc. He's a writer who listens to
Vargas.
Two Jack Bros, and he wrote a story inspired by an episode of Two Jack Bros that was basically about human experimentation. But I just imagine like when they're in the waiting room, that they're just listening to R. Kelly. I just feel like R. Kelly should be the soundtrack for these human experimentations for the prisoners.
For a specific song,
Um,
or just all of his.
Ignition. The remix.
remix.
We want them to have a good time.
Yeah. That's a good song.
Every R. Kelly remix ever made. And I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah. Uplifting stuff, huh? That I feel like that kind of sums it up, because it's like such good, like, genius music, but it's got this, like, it's questionable, like, should I be enjoying this much?
Yeah.
Because he really wasn't a good person at all. He did some really bad things, but
he
musically.
such heroic music.
Yeah.
He's a musical hero.
Yeah.
He's a musical hero. We can't help that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he definitely has to be the soundtrack to the human experimentation for COVID.
Because, like, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I feel like it makes sense that, like,
R. Kelly is the music for this.
that if you commit crimes, you should have to pay a debt, right? And, like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything out of you sitting in jail, getting
No.
raped and whatever happens to you in jail. Like, I'm not getting anything out of that. If you would stop this pandemic, I would get something out of that.
I think that is the only time we should feel like a person owes us something.
Yeah.
Because like I don't feel like a person ever owes me anything.
Yeah.
But I want to. I want to feel that. I want to. No, it's not that I want to feel it. I want to not stifle that.
Yeah.
Because it's in me.
Yeah.
And I have to be like, dude, they don't know you. He doesn't know you anything.
Yeah.
You know, even with that guy I was in the confrontation with.
Yeah.
At one point, I was still yelling.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, man, just try. And I was like, I'm sorry. Listen, it's not even about you right now. Please ignore me. I just need to do this. You know, it's like, because he didn't owe me anything. He didn't owe me listening to that garbage over and over again. You know, so I want to not stifle that. And I feel like everybody who goes to prison for something that is pretty heinous, I want to walk around feeling like they owe me some shit.
So you want to go back to the heinous criminals? I want to leave the heinous criminals
and jaywalkers and shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm sick of all your shit.
No, I feel like my model, like, the more I thought about it, like, I'm gonna, like, it's not enough. Like, if you murdered somebody, like, or if you murdered somebody's little girl, you know, like, this isn't enough. You're not making up for it like that. But if you, I don't know, smoked too much weed and parked in illegal spots, I'll forgive you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Take this needle.
Yeah.
I mean, you like getting high, right? You don't care. You're into drugs, right? You like drugs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do we still got to do something with these heinous criminals.
Death penalty. No, I don't know. No,
I mean,
you want them. You want to feel like they owe you, and you want to get what you
I feel
deserve out of this.
I feel like they should have to test. I feel like they should have to test a person's homemade rocket. Remember that guy made his own homemade rocket and he just paraboled up and down?
Yeah.
Like, that could have been a rapist.
Yeah, I guess so.
He could have been on the ground watching a rape. Ooh, okay. All right, back to the drawing board.
Because if like things went well and he got to go to space, like he's, I guess, because he's like about taking risks in life, right? Like you are. So here's your risk, man.
That guy had one drawing board. That was like written in Sharpie.
Yeah.
It was like there was no going back to that drawing board. Nothing.
It's got to be perfect the first time.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That's what we got so far,
That's what
strapping
we'll
them
see.
to rockets.
Strapping them to rockets, catapults.
Catapults.
Let's see if we can make the perfect catapult.
That hasn't been accomplished in the medieval times.
I mean, I feel like in 2020 we could make a way better catapult with like lightweight material, shoot further.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. It's,
I don't even know if we need to put a person in it to find that out, but if that's where you're at, sure, they owe that to you.
Yeah, it's their debt. It's their debt to society. I can't help what they did.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the idea of shooting a person in a catapult always tickles me. Like, it's like from the moment that I learned what a catapult was.
Yeah.
I have not been able to stop laughing about the idea of a person sitting in that catapult.
I don't think you're alone with that. I mean, that's like what Angry Birds is all based on, right?
Yeah. It is.
Catapult and living things.
I feel like, too, this might be a good time to reconsider bringing back the segment, Who Would You Fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we had to stop it because we were just becoming so wise that we didn't have that angst towards anybody in the world anymore. Yeah. But then the world brought us angst.
Oh. Yeah, maybe this is our fault.
This could be our fault. We should have just kept fighting people every week.
Yeah.
It was harmless. It was in our heads, and we were just saying it. We were actually fighting people.
No.
Yeah. Also, check out our Patreon, 2 Jack Bros Patreon. I don't know if that was a good time for an advert, but I said it.
You did it.
I said it. We're on Patreon. Thank you for listening. check it out. Here's some more of a detailed confrontation that I had with the police recently. That's a pretty good time.
Yeah.
And but yeah. What was I just talking about?
Talk about who you want to start. Do you have somebody that you'd fight? Like, I'm trying to think who I want to fight.
I have a few. I have a few. Yeah.
I have it's not a specific person, but like, I went out a little bit today in stores, and the lady that you see, I'm pretty sure she's everywhere. The lady that you see out about shopping, and she's got like, it's not even like an N95 mask on it, but it's something that's got like ventilators everywhere. Like her mask is just like way too heavy duty, and she's like so inconvenienced by other people being too, like, she's just like, oh my God, like having such a huff about like what other people are doing, that you're like, lady, you shouldn't be out here. If you can't handle this, why are you out here? Like at a garden shop,
So you're talking about Karen.
Yeah. I just want to like low sweep kick her and like keep it moving. Like let her crumble to the ground and be highly offended, and like maybe leave without her even knowing what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the world is attacking me.
Did you see that? Did you see what that lady just did to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then nobody helps her.
Yeah.
Because it's like, she's a Karen.
Yeah.
Let's let Karens be Karens, right? Well, no, I mean, that's kind of, part of I don't want to fight a Karen, clearly, but I wouldn't mind having like a quick confrontation with it,
But they're never quick with Karen, are they?
No, but I mean, they're never quick with me either. So I feel like we'd be,
your Venn diagrams overlap a lot.
For us, it will be quick.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like a quick. From our perspective, from the perspective of a Karen and a potentially black Karen man, a black Karen man,
black Karen man,
Karen. From a Karen and a black Karen.
Yeah,
it'll be quick.
Yeah,
it'll be quick. And
I feel like you also will be bringing the world together too, because everybody's like starting to be so offended by Karen, and like it's racist, and you got to stop treating white women like that. Like, and you're like out there being a black man Karen, and it's like, look, we're all in this together.
Yeah, well, a Karen.
Karen.
I kind of like the way that sounds. I also want to put these hands on Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I thought I saw somebody who was like saying he should be our president. Like, why is everybody talking? Because he's out of jail and he's talking a lot now, so everybody's talking about him again.
He is. And I never even really knew who he was until he snitched and became the patron saint of snitching.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I was perfectly fine when he was just going to be in jail, and he got caught snitching, and it's like, he's gone. But now he's back in the limelight.
Did he get out because of COVID?
Because of COVID.
Test subject.
Yeah. He might be a fucking experiment.
They've already done it. Yeah. They're way ahead of us on that one.
For sure. Like, that dude, there is something. He is definitely an experiment in what happens when you give a retard money. Which is what I consider a lot of rap music to be. It's like, and it just like the rap I like, the ignorant, ratchet, terrible for society rap.
Yeah, I saw somebody's thing. Facebook was talking about the Golden Girls, and they said, "What's the oldest one?" That was always.
Was it? It's not Blanche.
No, not Blanche.
I don't know their names.
But the oldest one that was always there. They called her
Dorothy.
Ratchet. Dorothy.
Is it Dorothy?
No, not Dorothy. Not Blanche. Not.
I don't even know the other names.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She is ratchet.
It cracked me up.
She's so ratchet.
Yeah.
She's definitely an N-word.
Yeah. Yeah. She totally is.
For sure. For sure. The tall one was a Karen.
Oh, yeah.
She was a let me speak to your manager type.
Yeah, she was.
And then there was a slut and an airhead.
Blanche was the slut.
Yeah. So you had a Karen, an N-word, a slut, and a retard.
That's why that show was amazing.
Dude, that is the perfect formula for entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Sorry. So Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
It's an experiment.
He's like an experiment in social retardation. Like there's something wrong with this man.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with this man.
Nope.
And he lives in a world where everything that he says and does is valid to him, which is fascinating to watch. Mm-hmm. It is mind-blowing how passionately he can be he's saying and doing these retarded things.
The only clip, the first time I saw him was the clip you showed me when he was like, if you don't have my watch, I ain't talking to you.
Yeah.
See this watch? If you don't have this watch, you don't matter. Like,
I
that's
love
the
your
only
Tekashi impression. It's like spot on. That's the first impression I think I've ever seen you do. Wow, you've been saving it?
I'm really good at retards.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the Venn diagram.
I feel him on a deep level.
Yeah. But because it is. I mean, I want to say ignorant shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I would use to value whether or not somebody can speak to me or not, because I don't have a lot of cool material shit. But you know, like I you know what? If you can't touch the rim with two hands, don't say shit to me. If you can't leap from your feet to the rim, two hands, we ain't on the same level. We ain't on the same level, dog. If you can't, wait, what else can I do?
Some people think you can do cartwheels. I don't, but
Yeah, if you can't do a perfect cartwheel, there's nothing you have to say to me, man. If you can't get your feet perfectly above your head. No, I want to fight him, but it's just like I just want to hold him down.
yeah.
And just like have him keep trying to squirm and get out.
Yeah.
You know, not even like not a jiu-jitsu knee on belly.
No, just
like both arms.
Just like dad him, like
Yeah,
big brother
big
him.
brother.
Yeah,
I want to big brother him, hold him by both shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's like kicking me and shit, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, whatever.
Yeah. Like, what? I can't hear you. I don't have a watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying.
That'd be fun. Is that it? Anybody else you want to fight?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me either. I mean, me either. Just Karens and Tekashi. I just want to, man, I'm going to stick it to a Tekashi and a Karen. So I was thinking more about what we were talking about yesterday when we were talking about how I was talking about how black people can't have fetishes. Dude, that is the premise of that is hilarious to me. It's just think about all the things that people say in society that black people are socially immune from. Like, black people can't be racist. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not true.
No.
Right? But the idea that black people can't have fetishes,
Yeah.
it was tickling me all last night. I was laughing about that all last night.
Yeah. So let's break it down, because I had to go to like the key fetishes
Yeah.
that like a foot fetish,
Mm-hmm. Which is not a fetish in the black community, because it's in R&B songs.
That's why you all got hookworm.
I mean, well, it's not all black people, or it's not even all white people. It's just white trash and N-words. They were the people that get hookworm. White trash.
But all black people can lick a toe because R. Kelly sings about it.
I don't know if it was, or it might have been Montel Jordan. There was a specific lyric in an R&B song in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't remember the lyric in full, like, so that it rhymes.
Yeah.
But I remember it was, and some honey for your toes.
So that's just how black people get down. That's not
how
a
black
fetish.
people get, no, it's not a fetish. That is foreplay. That is black foreplay. By the way, Nick Cupsey, who has a foot fetish,
Yeah.
big fan of
Yeah.
TJ, all the podcasts, all the Shat Nation or the Shat Digital podcasts. He's a fan of, but his toe fetish, his toe licking fetish, makes him a wigger.
How does that work?
It's just like that's enough.
That's enough to make you
Just like if you lick toes,
you're like part black now.
well, not part black, but you're like a wig. You're definitely a wigger. You're definitely a wigger.
Okay.
There's
okay.
like what kind of music do you think he's licking toes to? You can only listen to one type of music if you're licking toes.
R&B.
It's got to be R&B.
You think even if you're a white person with a toe fetish, you're still listening to R&B?
I think every time, if you're a white person with a toe fetish, every time you see a foot, R&B music plays in your head.
Like that guy that was in Philly last summer or the summer before.
Oh, the under the dressing room toe licker?
Yeah.
He was definitely a wigger.
I feel
for
like he's
sure.
like, I want to fill you up. Like it gets you pumped up.
Yeah,
It's like your pregame song.
I'm a little concerned now that he might have got some trumped up charges, right? Because there's no way you can be a toe licker and not be a wigger, right?
Okay.
So when they found him, they probably, when they pulled him out from underneath the dressing room
They
door,
pulled the toe out of his mouth and it was like,
like,
yeah.
and then he probably got additional charges because his pants were sagging so low.
You don't think you would?
They probably attributed that to something sexual, but that was just
wigger?
how he wears his pants. Like, I'm worried now that there was some trumped up charges there.
Yeah. What was the other fetish that was going around that I was like, I've missed?
You didn't admit the guy that was a fucking cheese?
Yeah.
That was happening in Norristown. That was happening close by us.
So that's a fetish, right? Or it's like, where's the line between a fetish and a sexual deviation issue? What do you call it?
Yeah, it's okay, so you got to be white.
To have a fetish,
You gotta be
okay.
fetish, you gotta be white. And then when you're doing something sexually that is not commonly accepted as something to do sexually,
It makes it
it makes it a fetish. When it's not within the normal realm of sexual behavior, when you have to find somebody that's into it.
So what is isn't there like, can't you cross a line in fetish from fetish into like I'm using the word deviation, like into like you're a degenerate, like
I don't know if we're allowed to do that. I mean, what would be? I mean, I guess a degenerate has to be somebody that is doing sexual fetishes to somebody against their will.
yeah.
Then you're a degenerate.
Okay.
Like when you're licking somebody's toes who doesn't want their toes licked.
Yeah.
You're a degenerate. You're a degenerate wigger.
But if somebody else if somebody wants this, if somebody's like, oh, will you fuck this Swiss cheese for me? Then it's just a fetish.
That's just a fetish.
I'd like to watch you with this cheese.
Yeah. I guess you have to probably use the rules of addiction. Like if it's affecting your life in an adverse way, you're a
that's
degenerate.
fair. Yeah.
Right?
Okay, well, so here's more fetishes that that men fall into. What about the men? Like, you don't think there's ever been a black man that's wearing like women's panties? You know, like the white dudes always get caught like wearing women's panties and.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So many black men are raised by single mothers that is the person they look up to. So it's like, I mean, you don't have your dad's underwear to wear.
Okay.
I mean, that's a cultural thing. I mean, I don't try to take that away from us.
Okay.
and it's also when you're like sexual a little bit, when you're like, yeah, I'm good at sex. Like when that's your thing, you can wear
silk panties.
any kind, whatever you wear under there is perfectly valid.
Yeah.
Like the silkier, the better. Even if it's like women's lacy, silky. As a matter of fact, if I see like a black man in lacy panties,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this guy is probably good at sex. That's like that's somebody who's, man, his personality is sex. Like that's his thing. That's his thing. Like that's why he was worried about the quarantine.
Is it just black guys that can have a personality that is sex? Can wiggers get away with that?
Wiggers can get away with it, and there's some types. There's also a type of white guy that can do it too.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not see him as kind of fetishy, because he wears his shirt unbuttoned, like the top 3 buttons are unbuttoned, and his like chest hair is out, like that guy.
And he's a stripper.
I mean, in his own mind, but as I always say, like there are some things you can't pretend to be.
Yeah.
Right? You can't pretend to be stupid. You can't pretend to be a stripper because you're actually doing it. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a stripper.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
a stripper. So yeah, is there anything else we wanted to talk about? I mean, it is kind of funny to me that I mean, this isn't funny, but it's funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
But reports of child abuse have gone down.
Yeah.
But it's only because like kids don't have a private place to make a phone call anymore.
That's horrible.
It's terrible. It's terrible to think of.
Yeah.
Right? And domestic abuse has gone up.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we know that.
Women be calling.
I don't think they do. I think we're just assuming.
You think the guys are going like, I am beating the shit out of this lady.
Dude,
She's home every day with me.
Everything that I've read suggesting that domestic abuse has gone up has all been speculative. And it's funny because they're adding two things together. They're adding the fact that, women be getting abused.
Yeah.
And now men are home more.
Wait, I think there's some facts that back that up, yeah?
Men are home more and you know how women are. There's no way they're not getting popped on a regular basis right now. So it's funny to me. Yeah, what else? How long we be out here? All right, we just crushed an episode. That was quick.
Yeah.
That was very quick.
It was deep.
It was deep.
We're solving the world's problems.
Yes, we were solving the world's
problems. We're past just sitting here being upset about it. We're ready to solve.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I do like how we talk about our imperfections candidly on this podcast, because I feel like that's what can help bring people together, where it's, why are we trying to act like these perfect humans? Why are we trying to act like these narratives that we have for ourselves are actually the things that we're trying to achieve? And we only do it when we see somebody else has so clearly failed from adhering to their own narrative. And then we get to judge them as if we're adhering to ours.
Yeah.
We're
all trying. We're all trying.
Kind of. We're all kind of trying.
I guess that's more honest.
Right? It is.
Yeah.
It's like we're kind of trying until somebody crosses us. And then then it's Careman time. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I do. Because that's this whole entire relationship kind of revolves around.
Trying?
Yeah, it's like we don't have to act like we're perfect for each other.
Right.
And because of that, the other person doesn't get to expect perfection out of the other person. We have to lower our standards.
Yes.
And learn to love each other.
Yeah.
And then we'll incrementally raise those standards. It's like I can't raise the standard of what I expect you to be.
No, you can't. That'd be abusive.
It would be. But you can raise the standard on what I see of you.
Yeah.
Right? And then that becomes my new standard.
Yeah.
Right? And I was thinking about this recently too, because, we've been together for 20 years, and we still find ways to improve the relationship, improve the communication and everything. And even though they're very incremental improvements, and I'm kind of stealing some stuff from The Last Dance, the documentary about the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the interracial movie.
Remember was that the other one that was out at the same time? Save The Last Dance.
Save The Last Dance.
It was, that old trope of the angry black guy learning to love life through white women and dance. No, but there was this other documentary. I think I sent it was not a documentary, but something about focusing on Michael Jordan's trainer.
Yeah.
And it was talking about how he helped train Michael, how he even got to be Michael Jordan's trainer, which was a pretty neat story. Like, he sent a letter to every single person on the Chicago Bulls except Michael Jordan, because it was like, I don't want to. And that's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He only got one response back.
From Michael Jordan.
Because, if you look, it's also funny to think of it as Michael Jordan, micromanaging everybody on his team. They all got a letter, and he's like, give me that. And he's reading all their letters.
What? Where's mine?
You guys don't need this.
Yeah. You better not respond. That's my trainer.
But he was saying that, with Michael Jordan, he's already so good that you're not trying to get him 10% better. You want to get him 1% better.
Yeah.
Man, kids are giving me so much editing today. But so you don't get it. You don't get 10, you're not getting 10% better. You're getting a percentage better, or 0.5% better. And those small percentages matter.
Yeah.
Especially if you think about it humans and chimpanzees are 98%
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
That 2%.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's the difference between throwing your shit and throwing an iPhone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, so that's huge.
Yeah.
So, those should never be overlooked. Like
Yeah.
a chance to get 0.01% better in communication, 0.01% more patient with each other.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
If you had that opportunity, do it.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity, just do it. Just keep trying to get better.
Yeah. I think everywhere in life, right?
Yeah.
Like every little thing you're doing. That's why it was like groundbreaking to be like, make your bed. Like it's little things. Like just try a little bit and you'll get there.
Yeah. We got to cut this because jiu-jitsu is about to start for the kids.
Yes.
So we got to get them in that.
Yep.
Again, can't do shout outs, too many shout outs, but we shout out some people already. Shout out to the Shat Digital podcast, all of them. Check them all out. Matt and Shane Serious podcast. You fucked it. Chris O'Connor with Contact. War Mode. Who am I forgetting? Two Jack Bros, and who am I forgetting?
You say Daddy?
Oh, Oral Presentations
Oh,
and Dad Meat. Yeah. I don't know. I might have said some of them twice, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But check us all out, man. We're all doing different things. But one thing you're going to get from us is like genuine, in the moment, realness in comedy, right? Also, shout out to our Canadian connection, Julian and Meg is super important. They saved their lives during the pandemic. And TJ, shout out to our man down under, TJ James, Chris Tucker, for making some jerky. And just because we haven't, he kind of came into our lives as we were ending the shout outs.
Yeah.
And he sent us some pandemic jerky, which is
Amazing.
anybody that saves their lives during the pandemic gets a shout out.
Yes.
Right? So thank you so much for listening. We're going to hop on to Patreon in a little bit, Patreon. And come on over, subscribe. We're doing some fun stuff over there. You'll enjoy it. If you enjoy this, you'll enjoy the Patreon that we have for just $1. $1 gets you in and gets you all the content. All right, peace.
She got you.